Karl Amoussou has recorded 4 victories in his pro MMA career that occurred in 35 seconds or less.
My job in France is a policeman, to be undercover. It's now becoming more and more difficult to stay undercover because most of the guys in the street know me. One time I was running after a guy holding a weapon, and when the guy saw me, he put his weapon on the floor and said, "Just put me the handcuff, but don't hit me. I've seen your last fight, and I don't want to be punched by you." People expect that I knock guys out. They will see a psycho in the cage, a crazy guy, a dangerous guy. I think some Alvey is going to be smiling for 5 seconds. After the first punch that's going to connect him, his stupid smile will be deleted immediately.
The Bellator debut for the Frenchman, Karl Amoussou, one of the most dynamic strikers in all of MMA, Jimmy.
You and I have seen him a lot fighting all over the world. He's unpredictable, very explosive, a lot of physical gifts, and it lets him get away with a lot on the feet. Pulls a lot of surprising moves out of his hat every single time.
Really an extremely nice person, but he plays the role of psycho when he is fighting in mixed martial arts.
And he plays it well. You see here, kind of a mini stare down already. Referee Jason Herzog is not going to allow that. Breaks him up.
Jimmy, our tale of the tape.
You see here the reach, 3.5-inch reach advantage for Sam Alvey. But Karl Amoussou, very explosive. He can cover that distance very fast.
We now send it inside the Bellator cage to Michael Williams.
Bellator Fighting Championships on MTV2 tonight from L'Auberge du Lac Casino Resort in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Now presents 3 5-minute rounds of Bellator Season 5 Middleweight Tournament Qualifier. Sponsored by Everlast, greatness is within. We now introduce first the red corner at 6'2", weighing in at 184.5 pounds. His professional record, 14 wins, 2 losses with 1 no contest. Out of Murrieta, California, smiling Sam Alvey. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the blue corner at 5'11", weighing in at 185 pounds. He comes to the cage tonight with 11 professional victories, 3 defeats, and 2 draws. Hailing from Paris, France, presenting Karl Psycho Amoussou. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
But I've gone over the rules in the back. There are no final questions from you, Blue. No final questions from you, Red. Yes, touch gloves if you want. Come out ready to fight.
Sam Alvey's fiance, McKee Sullivan, is working his corner tonight. She won Cycle 11 of the television program America's Top Model in 2008.
Does look like she gets punched in the face a whole lot, but hey, seems to do a good job in the corner.
Round number 1. All Bellator fights tonight are under the unified rules of MMA, so elbows to the head are allowed, both standing and on the ground.
Karl Amoussou tends to be a fast starter. He tends to come out explosively. See if he does the same thing in this fight.
The American Sam Alvey is in the black and American flag trunks. The Frenchman Karl Amoussou is in the black trunks. Kick by Amoussou. The winner of this bout will gain direct entry into Bellator's Season 5 Middleweight Tournament, which will begin live right here on MTV2 this September.
And given Hector Lombard's last performance, I don't know if that's much of a reward for a great fight.
Karl Amoussou, a real dichotomy. He's just a great guy outside of the cage, outside of the ring. We've known him a few years, Jimmy. There's nothing mean or menacing about him until he steps into an MMA fight, and it's all menace. Karl Amoussou extremely confident. Said about Sam Alvey, he is going to sleep. He said about Bellator's reigning 185-pound world champion Hector Lombard, quote, "Hector is going to give me his belt."
Now, Hector isn't going to give him anything. He's got to get in there, first beat Sam Alvey, which is not easy, and then win that tournament.
Alvey missing with
good leg kick.
Beautiful leg kick, and Amoussou looking to take the back. Amoussou, for all of his prowess and renown as a striker, holds the rank of black belt in judo. But it's Amoussou on the bottom, Alvey fighting out of the closed guard.
Good turn by Alvey. Didn't let Amoussou step over and take the mount. That's good explosiveness, good timing.
Alvey said he wanted to use quick takedowns, throw punches and elbows, let Amoussou up, and then repeat the cycle over and over again in this fight.
Well, let's see what Amoussou has on the bottom. Judo guys tend to have good base. They're very hard to sweep. They have good takedowns, obviously. Not a lot of guard work in judo, however. See how advanced his jiu-jitsu game is.
Aside from his fiance McKee Sullivan, Sam Alvey's dad Dan is also working in his corner. Disappointed not to see our friend Karl Amoussou's older brother Bertrand with him. Did not make the trip from Paris.
We got to work.
Bertrand fought in the early days of Pride, really the mentor of his younger brother Karl.
Well, he's doing a good job of tying Sam Alvey up. Alvey not really getting off with his ground and pound. Couple of rib shots.
Tight close guard held by Amoussou.
All right, guys, stop in there. Let's go.
Yeah, that's a good stand-up.
Let's go.
Those of you who know, who watch Bellator, Jason Herzog is probably my favorite referee in all of MMA, showing why they're the quick stand-up from Herzog. He wants action continually. Kick by Amoussou. Another kick by Amoussou.
Fast kicks. I'm surprised he's not working the lead leg. See those kicks to the body, to the head, but that lead leg is right in front of him. He's not really going for it. Great throw. Nice step over to the mount.
That's the judo there from Karl Amoussou.
Yeah, but nice transition to mount. That's excellent. A lot of judo guys don't do that.
Big elbows now from the top. That was really a forearm smash there from Amoussou.
I'm seeing some blood here. I think he's cut right into the back of his head. Great elbows by Karl Amoussou.
Now looking for the rear naked choke, and back to the elbows is Karl Amoussou. One-way traffic at the moment in round number one, and Alvey is cut badly.
He's cut very badly. Very nice, accurate, short elbows, and that's what elbows are good for, cutting opponents up.
Alvey just trying to hold on, playing defense. Full mount by Karl Amoussou and letting go with the full-on ground and pounds.
Wow, couple straight to the face. Nice control. That's the thing about judo. They have outstanding base. Very hard to get off you.
Karl Amoussou told us, Jimmy, he did not just want to win. He wanted to win with emphasis in his Bellator debut. Send a message going into the Season 5 tournament.
Now you see he's isolating the arm, but it could be Alvey's baiting him with that arm just to get him off of him. You'll see fighters do that. Hey, armbar me just so you can buck him off. I think he's doing the smart thing by staying in the mount.
Vicious elbows, forearms, and punches by Amoussou. Looking for the armbar.
And Alvey sits up. I think that was a smart move by Alvey. Give him the arm, let him roll for the armbar, and turn and face him, and that's what he did.
A huge ovation goes up for the American Sam Alvey from our crowd in L'Auberge du Lac Casino Resort in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
All right, the question here has to be, how badly is Alvey cut? If it's as bad as it looks, he needs to finish this fight now, because once they stand up in between rounds, they might stop this. There is blood everywhere. I mean, Amoussou is covered in blood.
And again, that is all Alvey's blood. Closing seconds of a very entertaining round number one. Blood all over Amoussou, out of Alvey.
Stop there, guys. Yeah. Fighter, you got a couple cuts on the side of your head right here? Rob's gonna come take a look. Fighter, you ready? Fight!
Round number two. Good show of sportsmanship. Again, the winner books his place in Bellator's Season 5 middleweight tournament set to begin this September. Sam Alvey versus Karl Amoussou. 3 judges scoring cage side from the state of Louisiana. Jimmy, as always, you have the unofficial scorecard.
Gotta go 10-9, Karl Amoussou. Wouldn't quite call it 10-8, but certainly a dominant 10-9 round for Amoussou.
Sam Alvey is in the black and American flag trunks. Karl Amoussou is in the black trunks.
We see Alvey here not really throwing any lead punches, not using the lead jab or the lead hook.
A kick by Amoussou, but blocked by Alvey.
A guy who's explosive, you have to time him. You have to keep enough in his face to keep him back, and right now he's not doing that. Looks like he's trying to catch him coming in with that straight left.
Bellator employs 2 full-time cutmen. They are neutral. They're randomly assigned to corners. The best in all of MMA, Dean Lassiter in the corner of Sam Alvey, doing a brilliant job. Rod Monroe in the corner of Karl Amoussou has not been put to work yet in this fight. Yet, possibly not at all, because it's a lot of Karl Amoussou throwing strikes. Alvey's just looking to counter. Pace is somewhat slowed down here. Amoussou, another chopping kick.
You see, that's Amoussou. He likes to fly into things. Alvey has to catch him coming in hard. Now, if you run into a counter left while you're jumping up for a flying knee, it's gonna be a lot of damage.
Karl Amoussou was very, very direct. He said, I don't think that my stare down is going to work against Sam Alvey, but I'll do it anyway. He said, in my career, I've won fights in the stare down. I can either scare an opponent or I can really upset an opponent. We saw that. A fight we did, Jimmy, April of 2009 in Tokyo. Karl Amoussou versus the Pride veteran, Kazuhiro Hamanaka. Amoussou winning by way of first-round knockout via the flying knee in 23 seconds. And Amoussou told us, I won that fight in the stare down.
Keep your pants up. Let's go.
You know when the ref says, hey, keep your pants up, something is wrong.
Amoussou trying to adjust his cup, obviously not shy about it.
Quick, let's go. Up, 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 up. You gotta go.
Readjustment as time is called here in round number 2.
Let's go, fight.
Time in. The 2 cuts over the left eye and in the scalp, both on the left side of the head of Sam Alvey, have not been a factor here in round number 2, at least not yet. But Jimmy, as you and I talk about constantly on these Bellator broadcasts, when you're cut, you're fighting, you sweat, the blood starts to flow freely.
Now, the good thing is Alvey experienced enough to not get freaked out by his own blood. A lot of fighters see that amount of blood, it just gets them off their mental game. I don't see that happening with Alvey.
Amoussou walking forward.
Now, Alvey hasn't really developed that outside game. What am I going to do from the outside? He's waiting for Amoussou to come in and trying to counter him. But he's not throwing many initiating strikes.
Oh, huge left hand by Amoussou, his best punch of this fight. And Alvey closes in with the body lock. Alvey again forced to play defense. Is Alvey playing defense and playing the role of the counter striker in this fight, Jimmy?
Yeah, he certainly is. Not really going for the takedown, kind of a stalemate here. We saw the throwing ability of Amoussou in that first round with the judo.
Those are knees high on the inside of Alvey's left thigh. They're below the groin, they're legal.
Great trip, and an immediate step over once again into the mount, and Alvey ends up on top.
Nicely done by Sam Alvey. Again, he wrestled at the NCAA Division III level at Lakeland College in Wisconsin. Showing pretty high-level wrestling there.
Yeah, but he's had a lot of trouble getting his ground and pound going. He has very long arms. Easy for Amoussou to tie those arms up so far. He's been on top a couple times, hasn't really been able to use it.
10th minute of what thus far has been a really entertaining fight.
Let's go, keep working.
2 men fighting for their immediate future in Bellator. Again, the winner through to Season 5's middleweight tournament set to begin in September. Amoussou still out of closed guard.
Guys, we gotta keep working. Let's go.
Call for action from referee Jason Herzog. You see Bellator shaved into the side of Alvey's head.
We always love that as a promotion when you shave our name.
Let's go, guys, we're working.
Head.
I'm standing you.
Shows, I think, how badly he wants to continue to fight for this organization. Right hands to the rib cage. Alvey trying to be a bit more active on the top. Amoussou closes guard once more.
You hear his fiance/cornerman saying you can't just sit there. I agree.
Amoussou now active from the bottom. Alvey active from the top.
Go, guys. Go to your corners right here.
Our Bellator replay is sponsored by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
See that inside trip, taking Alvey down and stepping right over to the mount, but Alvey able to power out and end up on top.
Heading into our 3rd and final round of this Bellator middleweight tournament qualifier. The winner through to Season 5's 185-pound tournament set to begin this September live on MTV2. Jimmy, on your scorecard.
A very, very close second round. I gave Alvey the edge based on that top control at the end, but extremely close. And he caught Amoussou a couple times coming in. Gave him that second round.
Sam Alvey is in the black and American flag trunks. Karl Amoussou is in the black trunks. Again, Alvey cut in 2 places on the left side of his head. Outside of the brow and in the scalp in round 1. And those cuts have not been a factor since.
Alvey trying to counter with some knees. Amoussou rushing in. I think Amoussou is realizing his best shot is on the ground to get that ground and pound going. Neither guy has had a ton of success on the feet.
Karl Amoussou told us that he is very confident in his submissions, but he said, quote, "I am always looking for the knockout."
He's on the inside leg.
He also said that we were going to see, quote, "psycho style."
You see Alvey grimacing, but Jason Herzog says, hey, those on the inside leg. He's taking a close look at him.
Fighter, it's inside leg.
Bellator Fighting Championships will return to MTV2 live Saturday night, June 25th for Bellator 46 from the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. It will be the start of Bellator Summer Series and the opening of Bellator's 4th ever featherweight tournament.
Karl putting a lot of pressure on, but not going for any throws yet.
Time called by referee Jason Herzog.
And you're kneeing him right here. You're hitting him with the top of your leg in his cup, but that one was right in the cup, okay? You gotta be careful of your cup, your knee and your groin, okay? Right here, okay? I know it's an accident.
These guys were throwing a lot of knees in that position. Someone was bound to get hit in the groin. It was Sam Alvey.
It's the top of his leg hitting you. That was a direct hit. The other ones are hitting you in the inside of the leg.
The Frenchman Amoussou does speak perfect English, so he clearly understood that admonition from referee Jason Herzog.
Not intentional. He's not going to take a point. See if we can get a look at it quickly.
Just be careful with your knees, okay, in the clinch.
Yeah, Amoussou throwing knees. That's that left one right on the cup.
Yeah, okay. Do you want to be back in the same position, or do you want separated? Separated? Okay.
The great refereeing
there by Jason Herzog.
Hear the crowd chanting USA. I don't think that's going to affect Karl Amoussou. Let's see if it affects Sam Alvey.
Herzog gave Alvey the option. Do you want to be back in the same position, or do you want to start standing up in the center of the cage? Alvey chose the latter. A bit telling, perhaps.
Well, it was Amoussou putting pressure on Alvey, so I understand not wanting to start there.
Alvey now slightly coming forward.
Thing is, Alvey hasn't had a lot of success initiating. He's been trying to catch Amoussou's coming in, but hasn't had much initiation on his own.
Chopping kick on the inside of Alvey's right knee.
That's important to the judges. It's been Amoussou initiating the action.
Amoussou now slightly on his bicycle, then comes forward.
Halfway through the 3rd round.
Alvey trying to establish the right-hand jab. So 1, 2, 3 there. 2 punches, then the kick. Nothing landed from Alvey.
Good right from Amoussou. Balance of this fight. I mean, the fight in the eyes of the judges might depend on this last 2 minutes. Whoever turns it on, I think, can win this round and win this fight.
Amoussou missing with that. Alvey missing with the overhand right. Leg kick. Better inside action. Both men throwing.
Amoussou just not keeping his hands high when he's going inside, getting aggressive, eating some counter shots.
Alvey going for the shot. Nicely defended by Amoussou. Let's go with a flurry of punches. Straight left hand from the Frenchman. Inside knee again by Karl Amoussou. Knee by Alvey. Deep into our 3rd and final round of this Bellator middleweight tournament qualifier. Sam Alvey versus Karl Amoussou.
Amoussou has to be careful here. If he gets another groin shot and it's a little too high, he might lose a point. He cannot afford that right now. Going for the inside trip.
Looking for the inside trip, possibly the hip tosses. Amoussou, nice spin by Alvey. Spun right back by Amoussou. Alvey's back against the fence.
Amoussou's done a good job of keeping Alvey up against the fence.
Alvey short with a left on the inside.
So far this round, very hard to score. 45 seconds left.
Amoussou initiated that trip, and that was beautifully defended and countered by Alvey, who winds up on top. Close guard by Amoussou.
Let's go, guys. Keep working.
Call for action from referee Jason Herzog. Both men looking to finish strong. Alvey continuing to throw right hands to Amoussou's body, then one to the head. Amoussou's throwing those short little lefts from the bottom.
Just not able to do a lot of damage, though. burying his head and trying to stay busy in this last 10 seconds.
Final seconds of this fight, and Alvey letting go with everything he has. Lefts and rights, the bell, the end of the fight.
And that is the way you want to see a fighter finish a round. That's exactly what Sam Alvey did.
When we return, we will learn who will go through to Bellator's Season 5 middleweight tournament, set to begin in September. Who will we see out of these two fighters, Sam Alvey and Karl Amoussou, in Bellator's Season 5 middleweight tournament? Jimmy, that was a ferocious striking battle.
A lot of action in that fight. Sam Alvey's finally starting to land later in the fight. Amoussou coming forward. You see here, counter punching. Amoussou coming in a little bit wild, catching some shots, and finally the takedown by Alvey at the end of the round, and some furious ground and pound to end it.
Jimmy, on your scorecard.
I have it 29-28 Sam Alvey. It all hinges on how the judges see that second round.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance inside the cage, we will go to your judges' scorecards. Judge Joe Ancona scores the fight 29-28, seeing it for Alvey. Your second judge, Mark LeBlanc, scores it 29-28, seeing the fight for Amoussou. Your third and final judge, Jordan Bass, scores the bout 29-28 for the winner by split decision, now earning his place in the Bellator Season 5 middleweight tournament, smiling Sam Alvey.
He called this the biggest fight of his pro MMA career against the toughest opponent of his pro MMA career. And Sam Alvey is victorious by way of split decision over a very dejected Karl Amoussou. The winner, Sam Alvey, is with Jimmy Smith.
I'm here with your winner, Sam Alvey. Sam, big smile on the back of your head, now one on the front of your face. That was an amazing fight. What were you thinking going back into that first round, bleeding all over the mat?
I've never bled in a fight before. It's a little disturbing. I'm trying to add up. Is that me? Is that him? Oh, I'm sure it's me. He's beating me up. I don't know, a little bit of everything all at once.
So what are your thoughts on entering a very deep, very talented middleweight division with a vicious champ, Hector Lombard, at the end?
It's just that. It's very deep. It's very intense. It's a hell of a tournament, and I am blessed to be in it. I got to thank my Wisconsin team for getting me into the Bellator, and I got to thank Team Quest Marietta for putting me in the position to win this tournament. Thanks to my friends up in northern Wisconsin. Captain Missy, love you. Dynamic Fitness, you guys are going to love that I said that.
Now, how does it feel to have the support of your fiancée slash supermodel slash corner woman right behind you while you're fighting? What was it like having her behind you that whole time in that fight?
You mean my gorgeous McKee here? I couldn't do it without her. People think that she's my corner because she's my fiance. No, she's my corner because she's just that damn good. I couldn't do anything I do without her. And thank you so much, gorgeous.
Well, congratulations. We look forward to seeing both of you again. Big hand for Sam Alvey.